guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's reading is going to be messages from your future self. We're going to see where they are, what they're up to, what has changed in their life, and we're also going to get some advice from them so that you can make your way to the best version of them. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of the crystals one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. So number 1 is Cinnabite. Number 2 is Kunzite. Number 3 is Fluorite. And number 4 is Pyrite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose the Cinnabite, this is going to be your message from your future self. So already I feel that your future self is very proud of you and also very grateful for you. You guys, it seems like you have been putting in a lot of work to improve your mindset, to improve your mental and emotional well-being. And this has helped your future self a lot. So they want to thank you for that. Even if some days it feels like it's not working, like you're putting in that effort to be more at peace, to be more present, to be more content. And sometimes it feels unstable and it feels like it's not working, but your future self is saying in the long run, your efforts are really adding up. And your future self is actually in a place where they are very secure, very comfortable with themselves. They don't try to change themselves, and they're really, really content, really happy with where they are mentally and emotionally. And so they want to thank you now for putting in the work that you did, even when it was hard and even when you didn't feel like it. I feel like you guys have really made a commitment to your mental and emotional health, and wow, your future self is just really, really happy about that and really grateful. Their advice for you, and maybe this is something that you're already doing, but what has really helped your future self is finding a workflow and finding a lifestyle that works specifically for them. You know, finding a routine, I guess I should say for you, finding a routine that works specifically for you, finding out what works and what doesn't work, and taking more into account your emotions and your ups and downs. So maybe in the past, if you were feeling particularly tired one day, or you were feeling anxious or stressed or sad about something, maybe you've thought like, this is no excuse, I need to get up and be productive anyway, and I need to put in just as much effort and produce just as much results. Almost like you wouldn't validate or acknowledge your emotions, or they wouldn't be a valid reason for you to be down. They wouldn't be a valid reason for you to get less done. Whereas I see that your future self, and maybe even you now, is sort of laying down the framework, if that's the right word, for this, but saying like, you know what, I've been through a lot emotionally and I'm feeling kind of down today, so I'm gonna make my to-do list a little bit smaller, or I don't feel like exercising today, I'm going to rest. And that's perfectly okay. When you have, you know, a stable routine set in place, it's okay for flexibility and to take your emotional state and your mental state into account. And I feel like you've just found a really good balance with that. You found a really good balance. So if you need to take a break, you don't feel guilty, and you come back rested. You come back rested and recharged and ready to take on the tasks ahead. You've figured out how to do it so that you don't force yourself and burn out and then take a million days off and then feel really bad about yourself. It's just like, mwah, chef's kiss. You guys have really figured out something that is perfect for how your mind works and how you respond to your emotions. You've really taken the time to get to know yourself. So this is what your future self is super grateful for. And this stone actually is related to the throat, not the throat, the root chakra. So yes, your future self feels very secure, very comfortable in their skin, very comfortable with who they are, and they just feel at peace. They feel calm and contented, and I love it. I haven't even gotten into the cards yet because I've just been sitting in this energy. It's so nice and comforting. But anyway, let's take a look at your cards now. I actually want to start with this one because this is going to tell us what is the area of your life that has changed the most. Success. So your future self is letting you know that you have been successful in your efforts. You have been successful in what you're trying to do. Any of you guys who are working on something right now, whether that is a project, an essay, you're studying, any goal that you have set for yourself, your future self is saying that you have been successful in it. They're letting you know that you will be successful. This is going to get kind of confusing with the tenses. Like, should I speak in the future tense or the past tense? Because it's the past for your future self. From where you are right now, your future self is telling you that you are going to be successful. Any of you guys who are planning to submit something, launch something, release something, it's going to be very successful. You're going to get the response that you want, and you're going to get the outcome that you want. And of course, those of you who are working on your career, working on making progress, improving your finances, leveling up in your career, that's going to be successful as well. Also, your future self wants you to know that even right now, at the time that you are watching this, you are successful. You guys should be more proud of yourselves and give yourselves more of a pat on the back for the efforts that you have already done up until now. Because I feel your future self will be looking back on you now and saying like, wow, I really had it going on. I really had a lot to be proud of, and I had a lot to be grateful for. So your future self is letting you know, yes, you will be more successful in the future, but you should still be proud of where you are now and how far you have come now, because how far you have come now is really amazing too. So the next card that you have is the Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace. I really love to see this. This is giving me major abundance vibes, major successful career vibes. You guys have struck the perfect balance as well with creating value for others. So creating something or doing work, providing a service that other people need and that other people really appreciate. So it's fulfilling for them, but also it's fulfilling for you. So you really enjoy doing it. Maybe, you're learning a lot and gaining a lot of insight as you do this work. So it's like a perfect two-way street, a perfect balance where you're both getting something out of it. And it's not just like you provide a product or a service and they give you money and that's the exchange. It's something deeper. It's something more emotionally fulfilling. And you found like the perfect career for you. Your future self is saying, if you guys are planning on changing career or working towards something that you're passionate about, this is an amazing idea. You're going to be very successful and you're going to be very energized because you love what you do so much, and you're also getting energy and fulfillment out of it. You're going to be able to work so much, such long hours without feeling drained. Without feeling drained, because even the giving energizes you. Even sharing your energy energizes you because it's all coming right back to you. I'm also seeing that your future self has very healthy boundaries. So your future self is not afraid to say no to people. Your future self doesn't take any wooden nickels, doesn't take any crap from anybody, and is really only interacting with the best. Your energy exchanges are reserved only for the best, the most pristine energy. So you are really taking care of yourself. If some of you guys right now are working on that, like you're working on your boundaries, but you feel guilty saying no, or you feel guilty creating time and space for yourself, your future self is saying that's going to get easier. In the future, your future self has no problem with that. Protecting your energy and caring for yourself first, it has become like second nature to your future self. So don't worry, you're making all the right efforts. This is just something that it comes with time and practice, and it's bound to feel uncomfortable at first, but you will get better at it. Another message that I get from this, sorry, this is a lot. I feel like this reading is gonna get long. Any of you guys who have currently made an investment for a goal or a dream of yours, such as paying for schooling, paying for training, paying for some items, some equipment that you need to use for your dreams, this investment is going to pay off. And actually, even if you invested in a stock or something like this, any of you guys who have invested money, it's going to be paying off in a major way. And I know it can kind of hurt when we pay that big amount of money, like, oh, I'm never gonna see you again. But your future self is saying, don't worry. If you have made an investment, it is going to come back to you. It is going to be worth it. Everything is going to be worth it. The next oracle card we have for you is the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. So you guys have met your soul tribe, eh? This is amazing. Some of you guys, there are some of you guys who have already met a couple members of your soul family. I'm seeing like two, well, it's a general reading, but one or two of your friends, your close friends, are soul family members. Some of you guys are gonna start remembering where you know each other from. I don't know if you've ever had this experience before. It's really cool where somebody that you know in this lifetime, you just feel like you know them for longer, or you've known them from somewhere else, and then it hits you. You have this memory of your past life together. I had that happen to me recently. It was really crazy. But you guys are going to be meeting your soul family members. If you know them already, the group is larger than you think. You're going to be meeting several more of your soul family members, and also remembering your history together, which is so cool. Even somebody that you just met, you can have this sense of, oh yes, we go way back. We had a life together in, maybe you had a life together in Turkey. I'm sorry, that was a very bad joke. But you will remember your past on a soul level with the members of your soul family. You will feel a very deep and intense connection. Some of you guys have like 6, 7, 8 very, very close soul family members just walking around. And you're going to be finding them in the next, within the next year. These are people who make you feel so good. These are people who care for you the way you deserve, the way actually you have come to care for yourself. So the way you guys have come to care for yourself and be very healthy in the relationship with yourself, you have people who are coming in and honoring that, who are loving that and respecting that, people who respect your boundaries as well. And what's really nice about this group of friends is, like, you're all so successful, you're all so amazing, but there's never any like combativeness. You know what I'm trying to say. You don't feel like they're competition, or you don't feel envious of them or jealous of them. It's just pure love and pure support. If one of you wins, you all win together. So you just feel so happy to see each other succeed and to see each other thrive. It's this kind of supportive friend group, which is just so nice. And even if you guys have never had a friend group in your life, this is what's coming to you, a pretty significant size of a friend group. Maybe some of you guys watching, you've never felt that you would have a group of friends, or maybe you thought like big groups of friends are not ideal. You would prefer to keep it small, but I'm telling you, you guys, it's all love and support and no drama, and it's gonna work so well. Okay, so the next oracle cards I have, I'm going to do 2 at a time because we have one dark energy card and one light energy card. We're going to see what negative energy has left your future self. So maybe negative energy that you're holding on to right now, but that your future self has cleared away. And then what light energy is coming in for you. So the dark energy leaving is chaos. And the light energy coming in is confidence or trust. Let's see. Can I line these up nicely? Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me just gather my thoughts for a second. Okay. So with chaos, honestly, I'm not feeling anything so intense, like a tower moment, like where the entire fabric of your universe is going to shit and you have no idea what's going on. But just little things, little shifts in your path that you don't really understand or that make you uncomfortable, your future self is saying there's a very good reason for it. The phrase on this card says that chaos is giving you a chance, an opportunity to recenter yourself. So on the way to your success, it's not like you're getting knocked into a completely different path, but you might just be kind of shaken up like this into an adjacent lane, basically. And don't worry about that. You will understand the reason for that later. And honestly, what feels like chaos is actually not, is actually divine order. So there's going to be a little bit of divine intervention in your plan, basically, is what your future self is saying. Again, and it's not anything super crazy. It's not like you're planning to be a doctor and you end up being a hockey player. Like it's not like two completely different worlds. It's not two completely different worlds, but you know, maybe you were going to move to an apartment on the east end of town and it ends up being on the northeast end of town or something like this. Just little changes in your plan that might feel frustrating to you, that might feel like, oh, come on, are you kidding me? But your future self is saying, trust me, there is a reason, there is a divine order behind this. Nothing is being taken away from you. You're still going to get exactly what you want. So if anything like that happens, just let go of the control and allow the divine to redirect you. Also, trust that you're going to make the right decision, okay? If you guys are struggling to choose between 2, 3 options for your future, don't stress yourself out about it too much, because your future self is coming in to give you a spoiler that you picked the right path, okay? And you should trust that you always make the right decisions. Your future self is saying, looking back, you have chosen the right path every single time. Every time you came up to a fork in the road, you just knew what the right thing to do was. Even if you were freaking out, even if you were saying, oh my gosh, I don't know, your intuition always knew. And your future self knows this for a fact because they were united with their soul family. They found success in something that they were really passionate about and that helps a lot of people. Your future self honestly could not ask for a better life. So really, they're telling you, come on, give yourself a pat on the back. In any conflict, any uncertainty that you've come up against, you've always found the way. And this says, I fully trust every single one of my decisions. So this is the advice that they're giving to you. You've never made a mistake up until now, and you will not make a mistake from here on out. And your future self is saying, thank you for choosing correctly. Thank you for choosing the right path for me. And I will continue to keep choosing correctly for us from here on out. Oh, this is really nice. You guys might see repeating 7s or 6s as a message from your higher self that you are on the right path. And there was something else I wanted to say. Oh yes, any conflict. If you're having conflict with anybody in your life, if you're having any conflict with someone you care about, someone you love, it's going to resolve itself. That was just a random message that popped in the middle of me explaining something else, and I made a note to mention it. Yeah, any conflict with people you're experiencing right now, trust that you will say and do the appropriate things to resolve it, and everything is going to be okay, and you will not lose that person. It's going to make your relationship stronger. That's a specific message for some of you. Your future self is saying, don't worry. Okay, so next we have Archangel Raphael. So this could be an archangel who is with you. This angel might communicate with those numbers as well, repeating 6s and 7s. You might even see like 67 or 76, something like that. This card says, I am helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. So we've seen that your future self is feeling very good mentally and emotionally, and now we can see also your future self is feeling very good physically. So you guys, any pain that you feel in your body, any tenseness or tiredness, soreness that you feel in your body day to day, is going to be healed in the future. Your future self is saying that they feel great physically. Any of you guys working on your fitness, working on your strength, working on your flexibility, it's improved significantly. You're going to start to see the results of your health and fitness journey, if you're on one, in a couple months. Within 2 months, you're going to see dramatic results. And feeling really good about yourself, as well as feeling really confident in your physical appearance, which maybe that seems vain. It seems like it's not the most important thing, but it will mean a lot to your future self to finally be able to just feel 100% confident with their body and feel good on the inside and out. That's also something that your future self is really happy about, and they're thanking you for the efforts that you're putting in now. As for any pains that you feel in your body, like maybe you get frequent headaches or you have some joint that is always bothering you. I have a knee that always bothers me. That will heal seemingly magically, and that will be the help of this angel. So if you just keep taking care of yourself and keep focusing on like what you can do in terms of your health, in terms of your physical well-being, it's like Archangel Raphael is going to match you and will pepper in some magical healing into your experience. So like your headaches will go away, or suddenly you feel very rested after a certain amount of sleep that you couldn't before, or your skin just clears up. He's going to help with that. But yeah, your future self is feeling so confident in all areas. Okay, finally, let's get into the tarot. Ooh. We have Temperance, Four of Wands, the Hermit, and the Five of Swords. So Temperance is even more confirmation to me that your future self is saying all the work that you've been putting in is going to be worth it. This journey is going to be worth it. And your future self is acknowledging that it hasn't always been easy, that maybe your patience has been tested a lot and you've had to go through some things without knowing why in the moment it had to happen like that. Maybe you guys know from a larger perspective that there's a reason for everything and that there's divine order in everything. But when you're going through it, sometimes it's hard to remind yourself of that, or it's hard to find comfort in that. And you just want to know, like, I just want to know why I'm going through this. Why did I have to experience this? Why did I have to learn this? Or why did this not pan out in the way I was hoping it to? And your future self wants to reassure you that they know all of the answers. Your future self has found all of the answers, and because they're so happy with the way their life is now, they are satisfied with the answers. They have made peace with the fact that, okay, that didn't work out. This took a very long time. I had to work very hard for this. Because they're so grateful for their life now, they understand, okay, this was all part of the plan. This all needed to happen. So your future self just wants you to know, don't worry, you will get those answers. You won't be left in the dark. I see that very often with Temperance. And also this crab is making me think that you guys are very, very protected. You're very divinely protected. Also, Temperance, it's even extra confirmation to me about your health. You guys are going to be very healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally. You have a very balanced lifestyle. So you're balanced between work and rest, time for yourself, time with others. You've just found a balance that really, really works with you. And I'm also seeing that your emotions are more balanced. So if you guys have been the type to have very fluctuating moods, or have mood swings, or react very intensely to certain news, certain developments, I feel like you're becoming a lot more stable and a lot more peaceful. Here we have the Four of Wands. So the first thing that came to my mind with this is actually marriage. So your future self could be telling you that you will get married. If you guys haven't met someone yet, then your future self is confirming to you that you are going to meet someone, even if that seems impossible right now, even if you have no idea when, how, where, who. It doesn't matter, they are coming. You guys, there is somebody out there for you. If you are already with somebody, then your future self could be confirming to you that this is the right person for you. Some of you guys will be living with them in the future if you're not already. And either way, actually, there could be some moving or some relocation in the future. If there's a place that you've been wanting to relocate to, then you will get to go there. Especially any of you guys who have been wanting to move to another country, move overseas, they're saying that you will get to do that, because the Four of Wands is about the home and Temperance is Sagittarius energy, which is about foreign lands, foreigners, other cultures, expanding your horizons. So looking at these two together, yeah, and the Hermit too with independence. So any of you guys who have been wanting to, venture out on your own and find like your real home on this earth, the place that you have been always drawn to on a soul level, even if it's not technically your hometown or where you were born, you're gonna find the place on earth that really, really does feel like your real home. You guys, again, you're finding a very supportive group of friends. Some of you guys are reconnecting with an old friend, somebody that you had a falling out with, or you just kind of lost touch with them over the years. You guys are reconnecting and you're rebuilding your bond to the point that it's way stronger than it was before. So you came apart for some time and you come back and you catch up, you get to know each other again. And even if you were just casual friends when you knew each other before, now that you've reunited, it's like you're becoming best friends. So this could be a kind of unexpected reunion with a friend, and maybe it's a member of your soul family. And then finally here with the Hermit, as well as the Five of Swords, the final piece of advice from your future self is truly do not pay any mind to what anybody is thinking or saying about you or your life, because they will never know you, and they will never know what will make you happy and what will make you fulfilled as well as you do. Of course, if you're getting advice from a trusting friend, from a soul family member, that's a different story. Of course, you will make the ultimate decision, but there's nothing wrong with asking advice from a trusted friend. But I just feel that you guys may have some people around you who feel like they know you, or they feel like they can tell you this and that and tell you what's good for you, and they really don't know you. So just be careful not to get influenced by them. I feel like this really won't be an issue because you know yourself so well. So maybe this is just another thing that your future self is very grateful to the present you for really taking the time to get to know yourself, so that if someone tries to come in and say, oh, I feel like you're this kind of person, you don't go like, wait, am I that kind of person? Do I like this? Am I like that? You can just discern right away, like, no, you don't know me, you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't get influenced or impressioned, if that's a word. You don't take the impression or the influence from them. So if you're struggling with this right now, I know I have struggled with this a lot. It could be advice from your higher self, or if you already got this figured out, then your future self is very grateful about this. But yeah, you know yourself best. You can take advice from your loving friends. But in the end, it has to come from you. And honestly, you should know yourself to the point where even if your closest friends told you something that felt a little bit off, you could tell them like, no, that wouldn't work for me, that's not me. And even go against their advice. Like, that's how connected to your inner compass you should be. But especially for those people who try to act like they know you and they just don't. So maybe advice from your future self is to like hush the chatter maybe like turn your phone off sometimes, or turn your comments off sometimes, or just like take time to yourself to clear your mind, and don't feel guilty about it. Don't let all of these other people's voices get into your head, basically. But yeah, I see you guys have been taking really, really good care of yourself. I'm really, really happy about this reading, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I'm going to end the reading there. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Kunzite, this is going to be your message from your future self. So there is a message coming through from your future self right away, and that is that they want you to know that they are not any better than you, if that makes sense. And that's not to say that your future self isn't, more developed and has grown more, learned more, accomplished more. But I think what they're trying to say to you is that the you now is just as worthy, just as important, just as lovable as your future self. And there may even be some times where your future self looks back to the you now and kind of misses you and kind of misses the way things were. And maybe that seems strange to you, but I think it's very much just this kind of grass is greener phenomenon that we humans have a lot of the time. Like, we're longing to get to the future, and then we get there, and then we're longing for the past. But yeah, they want you to know that they're not any better than you. They're not any more worthy of love than you. So if you tend to look to your future self as like this person that you need to become, I need to grow in these ways, I need to change in these ways, and then I'll be enough, and then I'll be good. I think your future self doesn't want you to look at it like that. Your future self wants you to love the current you just as much as you love the idea of your future self. I hope that makes sense, because you're just as worthy, you're just as amazing as they are. So let's get into your cards now. And this is the first one I want to look at, this astral house one. And this will show us what area of your life has changed the most in the future. And the card that we have is love. So you guys will be experiencing a lot of love in your future. Of course, self-love is coming to my mind immediately with that message that came through right at the beginning. Those of you who are trying to manifest love into your life through relationships with other people, I see that you will be successful with that. So you'll be surrounded by loving friends, loving family, you will have a romantic partner, and you'll really be enjoying giving and receiving love. It's going to be like a big theme of your life in the future, and maybe some people around you as well, like maybe some of your closest friends are getting married and starting families. So there's this loving feeling all around you. It's funny too that you were drawn to the Kunzite, because this is a stone that helps with love. So that's really cool. Let's get into your next oracle cards now. Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. I just read that. Wow. So love is a big theme for you guys in the future. Definitely self-love. Definitely you are surrounded with people who love you a lot. You're manifesting some beautiful relationships, both platonic and romantic, if that is something that you want. And even professional relationships. I see that you guys are going to be surrounded by people who genuinely care about you as a person. They love you for who you are and not just what you can do for them. So even in a professional relationship, you may actually make friends with the people that you're working with, or just get to know them on a more personal level. It's interesting that you guys have the trumpet here, and you also have the nightingale who sings. So I don't know if any of you guys are musicians, or you're trying to pursue a career in music or build up the confidence to do that, but that could be a confirmation that is coming through for some of you, that is the right path for you, and your future self wants you to keep doing it, because you will be successful, you will find a lot of joy in it, and your voice needs to be heard. Whatever work you're doing, whatever you're putting out there though, I think your future self wants you to know that it will be received well and that you should be more confident in it. And as you start to surround yourself with the right people, this is going to help a lot as well. You guys in the future are going to be surrounded by people who actively support you instead of passively. I just saw 444 on the camera timer as well. I guess what I mean by that is, you know, the difference between telling a friend, a family member, a significant other that this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I want to do in the world, and they say, oh cool, like I wish you all the best, or someone who gets really excited about it and starts to ask you questions and starts to find ways that they could support you, or when they see something related to your path, some information that they think would help you, something that they think would inspire you, somebody that you should meet, you know, a connection that could help you out, they bring that to you. Look, I think this would help you. I know that you're trying to do this. You know, in the example of a musician, this would be like a loved one who comes to your shows, you know, who comes to watch you perform, or who shares your music on their social media. Like, even if they just have like 10 Facebook friends, they're still like, look at this, my best friend is an amazing musician. You know, that's the difference, as opposed to you tell your friend what you're doing and they're like, oh cool, like I'll check it out. And then maybe they're gonna listen to your song once and forget about it. Like, the people who are going to be around you, regardless of what you do in the world, I'm just using the musician as an example, but they're going to be such active supporters of you and so excited about what you're doing. And all relationships, like I said, platonic, romantic, professional, they love you for who you truly are. So your future self is feeling so loved for their authentic self. It feels really, really good. And I think that's why your future self says, like, I'm not any better than you, because the you in the future who is being so loved by everybody, that's who you are right now. It's just that your future self had the support and the confidence and the courage to come out of their shell and show it to people. So they've learned to let their true self shine and to, you know, to have that be received and have that be loved. But you're already that person. Your future self wants you to know that you're already that person. So it's just a matter of you singing. It's just a matter of you letting your light shine. You have the number 41 here. This means that you are safe to be yourself, because we have this protection number followed by individual expression and confidence. So that's how I'm translating this angel number, I guess you could call it. You are free to be yourself. And I love this message of love is all around. There are so many people who will, you know, flock to the authentic you and who will love the authentic you, that there is no need to control or curate your personality. There is no need to hide parts of you or change who you are to be more quote unquote acceptable to people, or some version of you that you think is more worthy than love. Your future self is saying, stop hiding yourself, stop changing yourself, because even if people love you for that, it's never going to feel good. When people love you for an inauthentic version of you, it doesn't fulfill you in the same way, or even, I dare say, it's not fulfilling at all. Your future self wants you to know how good it feels when you take that risk and put your true self out there and it's received well. And one person loving you for who you truly are feels so much better than 100 people loving a fake version of you. The next card that you have is Trust the Niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Do you guys ever experience, like, you're lonely even though you're with people? You feel lonely even though you're with people, or you feel lonely or unseen even though you're in a relationship, or even though somebody's showing you affection and attention, you don't feel fulfilled by it. I think maybe that's what the niggling feeling, it's like that nagging feeling that something isn't right. I think your future self is saying, if you feel lonely around people, or if you feel drained around people, it could be because you're putting up this facade, like you're constantly controlling and trying to be a different version of yourself that you think that person will like. So even if they respond positively and are showing you love, it just doesn't feel right. You still feel lonely, or you still feel unfulfilled. And your future self is saying that when you start to show your authentic self and be loved for that, this nagging feeling, this lonely feeling, this dissatisfied feeling is going to go away. And I am giving the example of personal relationships, you know, feeling lonely even though someone's there saying they love you. But this can also go for work situations or creative situations. For example, you have a bunch of people telling you how amazing your work is and how proud they are of you and how amazing you are, but it just doesn't fill you up in the way you thought it would. It doesn't mean as much to you as you thought it would. Like I have thousands of people saying my work is amazing, and I have thousands of people liking my work or my content or praising me, and why doesn't it feel as good as I imagined? Maybe you're experiencing this niggling feeling, and so there's some inauthenticity, not like in your personality, but in the work you put out. Going back to the musician example, like a bunch of people are saying your song is so amazing, you're an amazing musician, and it just doesn't really sit right with you. Maybe you made that song not based on what you love, but based on what you thought people wanted to hear. So it's not like an authentic expression of you, and therefore the praise you get from it, it just doesn't hit in the same way. I hope that makes sense. Your future self is saying, if you have this niggling feeling where the love people are giving to you isn't really sinking in, it could be because it's not your authentic self that you're putting forward. So their advice to you is to figure out first who your authentic self is, and then be confident to show that. The next oracle cards we have, there's a light and a dark card. This is the dark energy that is leaving you behind, and this is the light energy that is coming in your future. And interestingly, we have sadness and contentment, which are almost opposites, and I think they go together quite well. Your future self is saying that your sadness that you currently feel is leaving you, and it's being replaced with contentment in the future. Which makes a lot of sense, because you're starting to unapologetically be your true self and feel what it's like for that to be loved and accepted and supported. I know you're going to have amazing supportive friends around you. A lot of you are going to find your significant other within 5 or 6 months. And okay, let's read. I'm spacing out a little bit. Okay, so the sadness card here, it says, I know that all sadness brings a new beginning to it. Some of you guys may have had like a falling out or lost a connection with somebody that you really cared about, whether it is romantic, whether it is a friendship. It seems like there was a relationship that didn't work out, like you really cared for someone or even loved someone, but it fell through, it just got cut off, or you guys drifted apart. Something happened there, like a separation. And some of you guys may have even been in a relationship or a friendship with somebody who made you feel ashamed of your true self, or like you had to hide your true self. And maybe it's those kinds of people who passively support you, or who even just don't support you at all. Maybe you've been in some relationships like that before, and that is why now you hide your authentic self. And your future self is saying that you're going through this kind of rebirth where you're shedding all of that sadness from the past, and you're shedding the baggage from it. So you're kind of changing the narrative in your head from what happened in those relationships, from, you know, this person didn't accept me for who I truly am, therefore my true self is unacceptable. And you're switching it to, this person didn't see my worth, and that is not my problem, because I'm happy with who I am. This card says I'm satisfied with what I have, but in this reading it feels more like I'm happy with who I am. And if somebody else cannot see my worth, if somebody else doesn't understand me or doesn't see the true me, doesn't get it, that's not on me, that's on them. I know that I'm fabulous, and I know that I'm lovable, and I know that the right people will see my beauty and see my worth and love me. And you're making that radical commitment to never change yourself again. So you're changing this sadness to a new story of happiness. You're claiming the power back of this story. Oh, you guys have so much happiness coming to you. So much happiness, so much love coming to you. Okay, let's look at your angel oracle card. You are at the end. Yep, you are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. I wonder if some of you guys have been through some karmic relationships, or you were in a relationship with someone possibly for a very long time. Whether, you know, it blossomed into a committed relationship or it was just a situationship, because sometimes we can feel those very strong emotions from people that it was never official, we never dated like that. They can still come in and teach us a huge lesson and make us feel very, very hard. Yeah, I feel like you guys have been through this karmic cycle. You have been through some tough relationships that did challenge your confidence, I feel, and challenge your sense of security, challenge how sure you are of yourself, but you have mastered this cycle. This cycle is coming to an end. You're coming to the realization, I am who I am and I love who I am, and I'm not changing that for anybody. And if somebody makes me feel like I need to change, that is not true love, and I don't want that kind of relationship in my life. I will say that some of you guys, it's not a matter of like, I'm becoming my true self, so I have to let these people go. There may very well be people in your life who, you know, you've been a certain way with them, and now your future self is encouraging you to open up, show them who you really are, and give them a chance to see it and give them a chance to accept it. Maybe you felt like you had to show this different version of yourself to somebody, but once you open up and show them who you really are, they will love and accept it. But you have to give the people a chance to see the real you. And this is how you will know. This is how you will know if this person truly loves you and truly has a place in this next cycle of your life. So I do think as you start to blossom, as you start to sing, as you start to fearlessly let yourself be seen and heard, there will be some people in your life who are totally on board for it, who love who you are. There will be some people who don't get it. And so we need to be okay with letting go those people, those situations who don't have a place in the next chapter, because remember, it's not your problem. It's not your job, like, to make people accept you. So you don't have to change yourself at all. And if somebody can't understand you, or if somebody can't accept you, that's on them. And as long as you know that the people who will truly love you are out there, that's how you can have the courage. That's how you can have the confidence. And I love this message of happiness awaits you now, when we have this message of sadness changing to contentment. And I see it so strongly in this reading. I see it so strongly. You guys are being you're being surrounded by such loving souls. Okay, so let's get on to your tarot cards now. We have Four of Cups, King of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, your future self is really, really coming through to tell you guys you honestly don't see how amazing you are. I feel like you guys downplay your talents a lot. You downplay your amazing personality. You downplay your accomplishments a lot, and to the point where you've even stopped seeing it. It's like your future self is saying that you're too humble. You guys need to toot your own horn a little bit more. Be more proud of your accomplishments and accept compliments, accept admiration. You guys might be the type, when somebody compliments you, that you just brush it off, or you say that it's not true. Maybe you even think that the person is lying, or they're just saying that to be nice. And your future self is saying it's time to start accepting those compliments and accepting that admiration. And, you know, even if it's just saying like, wow, thank you, that means a lot to me that you said that, I worked really hard. You know, accept it. You don't have to be like, yeah, I know I'm the shit. It's not about like bragging or becoming cocky, but just knowing how freaking amazing you are, how freaking talented you are. Truly. You guys are I think a lot of you guys are creatively talented in some way, or you're meant to be a leader. You're meant to forge your own path in this life. We have the Four of Cups next to the King of Wands. So it's like, you're this Lion King. You're this amazing, talented person who draws a lot of attention. You guys may not notice this, but when you walk into a room, people take notice of you. There's something about your aura, or maybe you guys are very attractive, but there's something that draws people attention. And this goes for even those of you who are like more on the shy side and you don't go in the spotlight. People still take notice of you. And I don't know, maybe you guys are at home a lot now, but back in the day when we were just out and walking down the street, I feel like a lot of people would notice you, a lot of people would check you out or admire you. You really do stand out in a good way. And I feel like with the Four of Cups, you just don't see that, you don't notice that. There have been a lot of instances where people have been interested in you and they're trying to flirt with you, or they're trying to hint at you that they love you, that they're just so in awe of you, so inspired by you, and it just goes completely over your head. So you're either not noticing or you're like turning down the admiration, and your future self is saying just accept it, just open up and accept it, because these people are right. You are truly amazing. You are truly special. You're very, very talented. And creativity doesn't necessarily have to be about, you know, the arts, although I feel like we often associate a creative person with like a musician or a photographer or a dancer or a content creator or something like that. But you can be creative in any field, really. It just means that you come up with amazing ideas and you're thinking outside of the box. You guys are natural leader. You guys are meant to shine. And if you don't feel this way, maybe you have been, you know, suppressing that part of yourself for a very, very long time. But your future self wants you to be more confident, because, you know, a lot of people notice. A lot of people notice how great you are, but it's like you don't. Also, kind of unrelated, kind of changing the subject, but you guys are coming up on a much less stressful time in your life. You're going to have a lot more free time to spend doing whatever you want. You're coming up on a time in your life where you will have like just a day to yourself, where nobody's bothering you, and maybe you can spend time on your creativity if you are a creative person and resonating with that. Or, you know, read that book that you've been wanting to read, watch that show that you've been wanting to watch. You're having more free time, as in like freedom. Time to be free and do whatever. That's just a message, another message that is coming through there. You guys also, there's going to be somebody confessing their romantic feelings to you. In the near future. It could be a matter of months for some of you. It could be a matter of weeks even for some of you. And I do feel for very many people, it is somebody that you have already met, somebody that you already know. Whether you will be happy to hear this confession or not, I really can't say. I think we have a mixed group here. It is a general reading, so hopefully most of you fall on the end of being happy about this confession, but I just see that somebody, very likely somebody you already know, is coming forward and confessing their romantic feelings to you. Also, somebody, different person, is going to be putting in a very good word for you. I'm not really sure what that means. Maybe like if you guys are trying to find a job, somebody is going to write like a letter of recommendation for you, or somebody is going to refer you or say very nice things about you. Somebody is going to maybe promote you, help to promote your services, help to promote your work. Somebody's coming in to help boost you. And they don't need anything in return, you know? They're not doing it like, I did this favor for you, so now you have to do me this favor. They're just generous and they just believe in you. So you're going to be boosted like that in the future as well. And I feel like you guys are going to be kind of scared. It's like, why did you tell that person all of those good things about me? And feel like you can't deliver on it. Or, you know, if somebody's promoting you to a larger group of people, you might feel very, very nervous about how it's going to be received. I feel like you're going to get kind of anxious about it, even though it's such a generous offer that you should be happy about. There's something about you guys not being 100% confident about it, maybe feeling like the person who's promoting you is like overestimating you, or they're, you know, overestimating you, or they're talking you up too much. But let me tell you, what they're saying about you is actually very, very accurate. Do I go back to the musician example? I guess so. Maybe someone who has a really huge platform. It's like, check out so-and-so's music. They're like the best. They're the songbird of the generation. They're the best musician. I haven't heard such a good song in years. And you're thinking, oh my God, don't say that, because then people are going to get really high expectations. But you know what? Their expectations are going to be met because you really are this amazing. Like, it's like you feel like people are exaggerating, or you feel like people are lying to make you happy, but they're truly saying how they feel. They're truly accurate in their praise of you, in their compliments of you. You guys are like geniuses in whatever you do, but you just don't realize. And you're like working towards this future self who you feel, my future self will be more talented, my future self will be more capable. And your future self is saying, no, you already are. You already are. Just allow yourself to blossom. Just come out of your shell. And people are saying such good things about you. People are saying really good things about you. I feel like there's going to be some buzz about you guys in the future. In your field of work, people will be talking about you, letting the higher ups know about you and how wonderful you are. You're going to have a lot of positive press and people putting in good words for you here and there, which is really, really nice to see. Final message for you guys with the Nine of Swords. I was interpreting this as you guys, you know, just being kind of in your head and underestimating yourself. Any of you guys who have been really stressed about something, worried about a negative outcome, the negative outcome is not going to happen. That's like a little message I often get from the Nine of Swords. The thing that you're worried about is not going to happen. Okay? And this could be so many different things. It can really range in size, you know. It could be something as small as like you keep thinking about that dumb thing you said to somebody and you think that they're going to judge you, or that they're going to get upset or stop talking to you or think you're weird, and your future self saying, relax, oh my gosh, like the person is not going to care at all. It could be something small like that. It could be you just applied for something really, really important and you're worried that you're going to completely fall flat and fail. And your future self is saying, don't worry, it's going to be fine. So this can really range in size, and it can be many different things, honestly. Maybe you guys are the type, because this is a card about expecting the worst and being like, oh my gosh, what if this bad thing happens, and start to worry about it. And your future self is maybe saying like 99% of the things you worry about are not going to happen. You have a vivid imagination, maybe, like making up possible ways things could go wrong. And everything is going to be absolutely fine. Everything's going to be fine. Your future self is saying, I still get anxious sometimes. I still have the habit of getting in my head and overthinking. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't 100% figured that out. But I'm working on it. You know, all we can do is like put in the work to make it more manageable. I honestly don't know if anxiety ever goes away. But we can definitely find ways to manage it better and find ways to live with it better. And especially when we're surrounded by people who love us so much, they can definitely help to ease some of that worry and to bring us back to earth. So I think your future self is saying, yeah, I still struggle with that sometimes, but let's keep fighting the good fight because you are in a much better place now. Like from your future self's perspective, you are in a much better place now. So let's keep going and keep being confident, keep striving. Please believe in yourself. Okay, this is the last message. For those of you who are creative, like you make things, you write things, you draw things, whatever it is, and you think they're crap now, your future self is going to dig up some of the things that you made now and look at it or read it or listen to it and be like, what the heck, this was good. Why did I think this was shit? This is like, this isn't even bad. It's like, you guys are very, you're a very tough critic on yourself, I think, but your future self has improved a lot in just relaxing and loving themselves and accepting love and letting their light shine more. You guys have a lot to be proud of, and you have a lot to say. You have a lot of ideas to share. So it's just about finding the right crowd, and they are out there. Your loving friends, your significant other, but also your audience and your admirers, they are out there. They're out there eagerly waiting for you. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. I feel like that wave was really awkward. I'm gonna try that again. Bye-bye. Hi, number threes. So if you guys chose this beautiful fluorite, these are going to be your messages from your future self. So just before we get into the cards, a message that is coming through from your future self. It's kind of interesting. I hope I'll be able to word it properly, but it's like you're going to be, no, in the moment you won't be surprised, but if your future self were to tell you right now, you would be surprised to find out that something about you has changed that you could have sworn up and down you would never change your mind about. And you know, that's kind of, I guess that's kind of a vague message, and it could be something different for everybody, but you know, like I will never like that thing, or I will never dislike this thing. I will never live in that kind of place. I'll never want to do that. Like those kind of things that you think like, this is what I like, this is what I do, and that's not going to change. And you're so sure, like at the time you're watching this, you're like 100% sure that this is how it's always going to be. And then it will change. And it's not like the universe is coming in and making you change or making you move on from something. It's just over time, you gradually start to see things in a different light and you choose a different path. And right now, you probably would not believe, if your future self told you, you would not believe it, but it's like, who would have thought? Who would have thought I'd be doing this now? Or who would have thought that I would have left this behind? But again, it's totally your decision. So it's not like anything's being, you know, forcefully taken away or added to your experience. It's just how you're evolving over time. That will be, yeah, kind of interesting, kind of unexpected. Anyway, so let's get into your cards now. And I actually want to start with this one, this Astral House card. This will tell us what area of your life is changing the most. Wealth. Okay, so your future self is coming in strong right away to tell you that they are very wealthy. So keep up the hard work, but also keep an open mind to additional avenues, additional opportunities for abundance. Maybe it's like, you know, what you're doing for a living in the future, how you're generating income is not something that you ever saw yourself doing. Maybe you thought for sure, I'm going to follow this one path, but Then, surprise, you encounter a totally new field and become super passionate about it. It could be something like this, or you're just stepping on a gold mine that you weren't expecting. But I feel like there's gonna be it's like you're going up on your steady incline generating wealth, and then through some unexpected change, it just shoots up, and then you're making more money than you know what to do with, basically. You never thought that you could experience this much abundance. This feels really, really significant. Really, really significant. Like, if you're the type of person who sets goals for yourself, like, I'm gonna save this much money, or I'm gonna make this much money, there will reach a point where you like double your goal, basically. What you make is double your goal. So your future self is saying, be prepared for that. Again, keep working hard, but also keep an open mind to the opportunities and invitations and information that presents itself to you. If you get some information that kind of contradicts what you're doing, like it would lead you to think that something you're doing is not working, or maybe you should consider switching to this. Don't be too stubborn to accept those kind of contradicting informations or criticisms, or just, be open to new information, basically. And this is how you can find your explosive wealth. And yeah, keep your head down, keep going, and don't spend it all in one place. Okay, so let's get into your oracle cards first, and then we're going to look at some tarot cards in the end. So first you have the wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. So you could be sharing your knowledge or sharing your experiences as a way to generate wealth. Maybe you guys will coach other people or teach other people, or you're just very, very knowledgeable on a topic. And so using what you know, you can give people accurate advice, or you can give people a very useful service because you know everything that there is to know. Now that I think about it, it doesn't necessarily need to be a teacher. That's just the first thing that came to my head. But if you're selling a certain type of product, and you know everything, every model under the sun, the pros and cons, like, I don't know, cameras is just the first thing that came to my mind because I'm staring at my camera. Maybe you know a lot about cameras, and so you can use that knowledge to sell them to people. You can make like an online business, or you can open a store or something like this. Basically, what you are very, very knowledgeable on, or what you have a lot of experience on, your future self is saying, think about ways that you could generate an income from that. Think about ways that you could create wealth from that. I'm also thinking of like the lone wolf. That's a very obnoxious... Is that a motorcycle? I'm sorry, guys, by the way, if you can hear traffic in the background. I moved and I'm kind of on a busy street now, so there's nothing I can do about the background noise, but hopefully it's not too... I feel like the cars sound kind of nice, but every now and then there's like a motorcycle or a siren. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, back to the lone wolf. Some of you guys may find yourselves self-employed, or at least very independent in the career that you do have. So even if you did have a boss, it may be that they trust you. You're very knowledgeable, you're very smart, so they just kind of let you manage yourself. Either that or self-employment. Or your workspace, you're alone in your workspace, like you have a whole office to yourself, or maybe you work from home. You can be alone with your thoughts. You can be at peace. I feel like whatever you're doing for a living in the future, it's not very like hustle and bustle, and you're being on your toes and being pulled in a bunch of different directions, and there's a lot of pressure. It seems like more something you can do calmly and quietly and in a comfortable environment. There's not a lot of like, I guess, pressure or time sensitive things, or worrisome expectations. You feel just very relaxed in it. And I feel like the wealth that you're generating, like, it requires effort, but not the type of effort that makes you frustrated or drains you. It's the type of effort that is super rewarding. And I dare say even like it gives you even more energy. So this is really, really nice. Turn your knowledge into wisdom, but turn your knowledge also into wealth, I think is what your future self is saying. It's like you're sitting on this well of knowledge that you could do something really cool with. So think about that. Next card is trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Those of you who already have an idea for your career, for a project you want to start, for a business you want to start, your future self is saying, go for it. And you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know the whole picture, or what you should do, what you would do in any given scenario. Just start doing it, and you will learn the ropes, I think is the expression. You will learn the way as you go. The phrase on this card is, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So if there's something you've been wanting to do, but you're scared or you're unsure because, you know, I don't know what steps to take, I don't know where to start, I don't know the right and wrong ways to do this, I feel like I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. Your future self is saying, just start. You will make mistakes, but that's how you're going to learn. Like, feel your way through it, through trial and error, learn as you go. That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is just, you know, somebody told us something and we absorbed it. Wisdom is living through it yourself, learning from experience. So yes, you will make mistakes. You will maybe sometimes like rethink, take a turn and go back. No, let's try this way. And it will be kind of messy at first, but you will become so wise from this experience. And your future self is saying, if you guys are wanting to start something in your career and you're waiting for more information, you're waiting for more like knowledge so that you can feel more secure, they're saying like, I need to tell you, there's some things that you won't know until you just start and until you just do it. Because even if you are asking other people for advice, everybody's experience is a little bit different. Like if you ask 10 different people for tips of starting their own business, they might tell you 10 different things because it's based on it's based on their wisdom, what they learned through their own experience. So at the end of the day, you just have to do it and you just have to learn through your experience and know that you're going to be supported. You are going to be divinely supported. You're going to be protected because this is your right path. Some of you guys maybe are scared because your career dream involves kind of taking the road less traveled. If I think about this lone wolf and trusting your path, maybe it's not something that a lot of people pursue. And you know, if you told people that it was what you wanted to do, they might think that you won't be successful. Not because they don't believe in you, but it's just not maybe something that people are used to, or they haven't met a lot of successful people. But I mean, this is just it's such a beautiful message. It barely needs interpreting. If you knew that without fail, you would be successful and you would be wealthy, what would you do? And your future self is saying, go for it. Some of you guys, I will say, even yourself in the future is like just starting. They're just taking the path. And it's like they're coming to say to you now, if you start now, you won't be where I am now. You will be a million steps ahead. But you're going to have to start this at some point. So they're saying like now's as good a time as any, and you'll be okay. Just keep taking one step after another and know that you will learn everything you need to know as you go. As you take one step, the next step will be revealed to you, and so on. So your next oracle cards are this dark energy and this light energy. This is going to tell us what energy has left you behind. So what negative energy your future self has successfully cleared away, and what light energy they have brought in. So for the dark energy is separation. And for the light, for the light energy is union. Okay, so getting rid of separation and coming into union, that could be a very straightforward message for some of you guys. I am thinking of union with other souls. So maybe you guys who chose this pile, there is one or maybe several souls that you feel a longing for, whether you know them or not, whether you have met them or not. You just feel like your tribe is out there, you feel like your family is out there, or you just feel like your person is out there. For some of you, I think it will be like a family, a soul group, a soul tribe, just because of how many different energies we see here. It does look like a group coming together. So yeah, maybe it's soul family for many of you, but if you're just feeling and longing for one soulmate, one divine counterpart, this can absolutely be a message for you as well. And especially if you have been on and off with somebody, you know, coming together and then separating, coming together and separating. This separation energy is leaving. So you will not separate again. You will not drift apart again. If you guys are in a long distance relationship, you could be moving to the same place for good. So you don't have to leave each other anymore. But this whole being apart thing is going to be done. Some of you guys will be reunited with family members. If that resonates with you, you'll be reunited with family members or reunited with friends who you were, you know, at a great distance with. You're coming back. It definitely doesn't have to be romantic. And then finally, this can also be all happening within you, because we can definitely experience separation within ourselves where we disown or we dismiss or we suppress certain aspects of ourselves because we deem them as weak, or we deem them as unacceptable, or we deem them as immoral, or whatever it might be, you know? But every single human has that anxious part of themselves, has the part of them that judges other people, has the part of them that wants attention, that wants money and fame. Well, maybe not everybody wants fame, but you know, these things that we deem as like traits that we have to get rid of. The person who gets jealous, the person who compares themselves to others. As long as we're human, I feel like we will have that to some capacity. And it's not about getting rid of it completely. And definitely it's not about letting it take over either, but just acknowledging that it's a part of you, that it's a facet of you, and accepting it. And the moment you accept it and just let it be, actually, you take a lot of control away from it, because the more you fight it, the more you try to suppress it, the stronger it gets anyway. So this can also be you just making peace with every single part of you and not judging yourself for these negative aspects that every person has, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. You're coming to a place where you can just observe your emotions instead of fighting them or judging them like this one is good and this one is bad. You just observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, observe your traits without punishment. This is just who I am. Your future self may also encourage you to meditate or to do some kind of yoga, some kind of exercise. That's coming through as well, because that actually really helps to clear our mind and to get in this receptive state where we're open to any thoughts, any energies that want to pass through without resisting or gripping onto anything. Just let them flow and be at peace with everything, with all of you. So yes, this can definitely happen on an internal level. Union, of course, it can be about other souls too. So please take that message how it resonates. But for a lot of you, this is the end of separation. So this is for all of you who are in the on and off situations or who are in the long distance situations. Maybe if you're in a breakup right now and you wish for things to patch up, this separation energy is leaving. Okay, so let's go to your final oracle card before getting into the tarot. You deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise. Okay, I feel a lot of you who chose this pile, like you have a passion. There's your lone path. There's your road less traveled that you're really thinking of pursuing. And then you could also take the more quote unquote safe way or easy way or secure way, do something more normal, do something more predictable. This angel is saying, like, your life is too short and your life is too precious to dim your light and to play it safe and to always wonder what could have been if you had taken your path reach for the stars. Aim high. Aim high. There's really big things coming to you. You guys are going to be incredibly wealthy, incredibly successful, incredibly wealthy. Wow. Like you never thought this could happen. You never knew this could happen. Keep dreaming, keep having hope, and know that you deserve it. Aw, I love this card. Okay, so let's get into your tarot now. I have 4 tarot cards, starting with the 9 of Wands, King of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, and 6 of Swords. Okay, I'll just go through them in order. So starting here with the 9 of Wands, your future self is telling you that where you're at now, it will only get better from here. You are at the near completion of a kind of tough time in your life. So maybe things are going to be tough for a little bit longer. How can I say it? It's like you're in that period where it's darkest before the dawn. So the dawn is coming. Things will not get worse for you. I want to reassure you of that. Things are not going to get worse. If you felt like any aspect of your life has been going kind of downhill, whether it be like finances or health or confidence or anything, it's going to go up again. You will not experience anything more. You will not suffer anymore. Things are going to get better, so just hang in there. And your future self is very, very grateful to you that you never gave up, that you stayed strong, and that you kept having hope, even when it felt like this situation had been dragged out for so long. For some of you guys, this may be about the separation situation. It may be about, starting on your path. Like you dragged it out for very, very long, and then your future self is like, thank you so much for finally taking the first step and finally getting your plans off the ground. And it could be both. If you're resonating with both of those, it can very much be both. But yeah, it's like your time is finally coming. 9 means near completion. So you are just on the brink of a very, very prosperous new chapter of your life, and full of love as well. Full of love and peace of mind. You're gonna notice how much more energy you have when you're not constantly judging yourself and constantly being hard on yourself and trying to control yourself. That uses up so much of our brain power, and the more brain power we use up, the more physically tired we feel. It's like when you stop micromanaging every single thing you do and you just live in a way that feels good, and you don't punish yourself and you don't judge yourself, you're gonna have so much more physical energy. Like you won't get tired during the day, and you feel like you can sleep really well, and you can be focused during the day. It really will affect your physical energy too. So your future self is saying, don't be mean to yourself. Use your brain power for for more constructive things. Also, if you guys have you've been watching Pick a Cards for a while, and you keep getting this message like, you need to keep healing yourself first, you need to keep working on yourself first, work on your self-love, and the one, this message. I have relayed this message many times, but sometimes it can feel like there's no end to it, right? And while I definitely think that there really isn't an end to healing, and there really isn't an end to bettering yourself and working on yourself. But what I mean is, this message of you're not ready for your blessings yet because you have this work to be done. I think your future self is telling you that you will reach a place where that work is done and your blessings are here. And I know sometimes it can feel like that keeps getting farther and farther away. The light at the tunnel keeps getting farther and farther away, to the point where maybe sometimes it feels like you can't even see it anymore. Your future self is saying you will reach a point where you're ready and your blessings are here. So it's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to be like this. You need to keep healing this. Now you need to heal this. Now you need to heal this. You will merge with your blessings like this, and then keep healing and keep receiving blessings at the same time. Does that make sense? It's not like your blessing is at the destination and you have to just keep going, and keep going. It will find you along the way. I hope that I'm explaining that right. It's not that this healing and working on yourself is postponing your blessings. It's basically what I want to say to you. I don't know if I explained it well enough. I feel like I'm not the best with my words, so I'm sorry about that. I have Mercury in the 12th house, so that's fun. Anyway, your future self is also saying you're going to be experiencing an upgrade in your spiritual and psychic abilities. They're going to become very vivid to the point where it's very hard to deny them. So seeing something in a dream and then it happens to you exactly as you saw it the next day. Like you have a dream that your best friend is texting you about a purple camel, and then you wake up to a text message from them about a purple camel. Like really specific things like this, that you can actually start to see the future, or you can actually start to know information other than through your 5 senses. A lot of you guys will have heightened claircognizance as well as clairvoyance. Yes, clairvoyance. You will be able to see people whom you haven't met yet in dreams as they appear in the 3D, whether it be a soul family member or a soulmate or just somebody significant who's going to come into your life and change it and bless you with an opportunity. You'll know that there's something important about that person because, oh my gosh, I just had a dream about them. So that's going to be a gift that is enhancing within you. That is what your future self is saying. Clairvoyance and claircognizance. And I know I already said this before, but it's just coming up again. Like your future self is stressing something about physical activity, like doing yoga or exercising or even dancing or even just walking. There is something about like getting your body moving. I don't know, maybe it helps to just clear your mind. It helps you to be in a more calm space, or it can even help you to have spiritual insights. Like obviously I don't want to tell you have to go and do some intense exercise, but for example, I know like when I'm running, I cannot think about things because all I can focus on is keep running. So I don't have any distractions in my head, and then I can get some really interesting epiphanies. So it just, I don't know, it might be a way to access information that normally you would be too distracted to access because all of your focus is going on moving your body or holding your body in a certain position. Yeah, it could be something like lower intensity, but there's something about that that's gonna, I think, improve your focus or improve your spiritual and psychic insights. Yes. Okay, so moving on to the 7 of Pentacles here. This is actually really, really nice card because it's about a temporary standstill, but your seeds are planted well. So, there was a message earlier about, you have this idea in mind and you haven't started yet, and maybe it's been dragging on for a while. And yes, you could have started sooner, you could start now, but you could even start later. Basically, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's never going to be too late. And I think the reason your future self tells you to start now or start as soon as possible is just because your future self wants you to start feeling happy as soon as possible. It's not like you're gonna miss your shot if you don't start now. If you don't start this business now, or if you don't start this project now, or start pursuing this career now, it's gonna pass you by and you're gonna lose the opportunity. It's not like that. It's just that this is what you love. This is where your heart is. And of course, your future self wants you to be happy because they're you. So yes, it's been on hold, but it's not behind schedule, because there is no schedule for this. It's not going to be too late. So whenever you feel good, whenever you feel ready, again, if you were waiting for some additional information, some additional knowledge, your future self is saying just go for it. I think you guys have very, very good knowledge, but it's the wisdom through experience that you're going to get as you start going down this path. Seven of Pentacles, this is good for finances as well. Your future self has a very decent amount of savings that continues to build up. You know, you're going to hit this huge wealth, and your future self is saying, don't worry, I'm going to be wise with it. So you guys are going to be very, very secure for your long-term future. If any of you guys are planning like a really big transition, like you're planning to buy a house or move into your own place or buy a car for yourself, or you know, spend money on going to school, or maybe even starting a family, anything really big like that, your future self is saying that you will be more than prepared for it. Everything is going to be fine. You're going to have a very, very stable future. And yeah, maybe there are quite a few of you who will be starting a family. Yeah, maybe you were like, you've been wanting to, but you're separated with your partner, like you're far away, but now you can come together and now you can really get your life started together. I think that's a message for a select few of you, but you're going to feel very wealthy on the inside and out. Really take care of each other well and take care of yourselves well, and financially everything's going to be just fine. So finally, Six of Swords. This is a really interesting one to me in this deck because it looks quite scary, which is weird because the Six of Swords, to me, it's this very nice and peaceful energy. But this is about communication and rough waters becoming smooth. So when I think of that meaning and I think of the swords basically piercing the fish, the energy that's coming to me from this card is like squashing beef or like confronting somebody with something that you've been wanting to say that has upset you and you don't want to upset them. How can I describe it? It seems like your future self is telling you, you guys need to have an honest conversation with somebody in your life about things that have maybe been swept under the rug, but that are still bothering you. When I think about this, I think this is an anglerfish, and they live really, really deep down in the sea. They're basically hidden. They're down there in the dark. So there may be some things that like you thought you moved on from it, but no, actually it's still bothering you. Actually, I do want to talk about this. It could be, you know, some kind of conflict that you got into with somebody, they hurt you or you hurt them in some way, and you don't really talk about what happened really or work through it really. You just kind of put it behind you, but the truth is that it's still nagging at you. It's something like this, and it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a partner, it could be like an ex, somebody in separation, but you need to talk about it. Maybe you thought it's going to go away with time, but I think it's going to go away with honest conversation and bringing everything to the light. Swords represent truth. So this is like a direct and honest conversation about the things that you're upset about or just the things that were left unsaid. You need to let somebody know how you truly feel, and you need to hear how somebody truly feels. And then you can either, well, depending on what your intention is with them, right? If you do have the intention of coming back into union with this person, then you need to have this talk so you can like clear the slate, and set the record straight and move forward peacefully. Or if it's not somebody you want to, get back into a friendship or partnership with, at least just to not have any regrets. Maybe you need to say an apology, or you need to hear an apology, or you just need to get closure, or you just need to know, like, why did you do it? Or like, what were you thinking? Or how do you feel about what happened? You just need to know, or you just need to say something so that you can clear it away and move on in the direction that you want to, is kind of the vibe I'm getting from this. So yeah, I think that's the last message for you guys. I'm very, very excited for you. I'll just end it by showing you this one more time because I really love this one. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. So yes. Okay, I'm gonna end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys were drawn to the Pyrite, these are going to be your messages from your future self. So I have been starting the readings with intuitive messages from your future self before we get into the cards. And yours, interestingly, it's kind of similar to the intuitive message that came through for pile 3, but it's just a little bit more specific. What the message was in pile 3 was that your future self would go through a change that you never believed they would go through. But for this pile, for pile 4, it's a little bit more, it has the same message of unexpected change, but with regards to healing. So it's like your future self has healed from something that you never thought you would be able to heal from. Like maybe with the version of you now, you have some thoughts like, I will always be insecure about this, or I will never be able to think about that without getting sad, or this is always going to trigger me. Some things that you feel you could never truly move on from or never truly feel okay with, or like I'll never be confident doing this or looking this way or being this way. And you actually reach this point where you are confident and unbothered and you are at peace, where maybe with the version of you now, you had kind of made peace with the idea that this cloud is just gonna be looming over me forever. But then actually in the future, the cloud's clear and your future self is standing in the sunshine and not even worried about the things that you're worried about now. So the future is actually very, very bright for you, and you're going into the future with a lot less burdens and a lot less heavy weights on you than you might be imagining right now. It's like you're bracing yourself to carry these heavy weights into your future, but actually they are going to be lifted for you. So that's the first intuitive message that is coming through from your future self. And with that, let's get into your oracle cards now. So I want to start with this one, the Astral House. And this is going to tell us about the area of your life that is going to be changing the most in the future. And there is career. So a lot of you guys may be changing careers, or you are moving up in your career. If any of you guys have been thinking about taking a leap with regards to your career, this could be your future self coming through to tell you that it is an amazing idea. So yeah, this is giving me success vibes, moving up in your career, moving up in your finances. A lot of you, I think, are going to be changing jobs or doing something in the same field, but maybe just a little bit different, and developing new skills as well. Okay, so let's get into the rest of your oracle cards now. For your spirit animal, we have the White Raven Spirit, Trust in the Magic. This is a really cool one. To me, this is like owning what makes you unique, owning what makes you different. And I would often interpret this card as, you know, the things that you were once insecure about because you didn't fit in like the rest of the people, or you didn't fit in like what was the standard of beauty or the standard of talent or the standard of success. Those are now the very things that you recognize as your greatest assets. Those are actually your keys to success and your keys to confidence. And so I think that fits in really well with that message at the beginning of like, you maybe thought that you were always going to be insecure about something. Maybe you thought that you were always going to hate something about yourself, or that something was going to be a disadvantage. And your future self is saying it is those very traits about you that are going to make you successful and that are going to make people notice you and admire you. It's those very traits that people are actually going to see and want to emulate and copy in you. Your uniqueness is going to make you so beautiful. And this can even go for, physical traits as well. If any of you guys have struggled to find certain parts of yourself beautiful, and you could never imagine, like, if your future self came and told you, like in a year from now, you're going to think that this is like the most attractive part of you. Like, you're really owning every single part of you and being proud of it. You're being proud of what makes you different and unique. This may be helping you in your career. It will help you to stand out from the crowd and be selected at interviews, or be selected at auditions, or it will make clients choose you. Your uniqueness is going to make you very, very admired. So maybe sometimes you feel like, why was I born this way? Why do I have these traits? Or why can't I do this? Why does it have to be this way? And it feels like a punishment from the universe, and you get messages like, this is really a blessing in disguise. You will see there's a reason for this. And maybe that's very hard to believe, but your future self is saying, trust me, because it's these very things that maybe you're insecure about now that make you magical. The way you stand out, the way you don't blend in with the crowd, that is what is so magical about you. And your future self promises that you will grow to love them, those traits. You will come to love every last thing about yourself. I do have to talk about magic a little bit because, of course, we have it on this card. If any of you guys out there did choose this reading and you do practice magic, witchcraft, spells, or anything of that nature, especially if you have done a career spell or an abundance spell, your future self wants to come in and tell you that it worked. Even if you're not seeing results right now, just keep trusting and know that your seed has been planted and it is going to manifest for you. And you guys might see with this number 66, that might be a number that you see to let you know that your manifestation is coming. So be on the lookout. But yeah, your future self is saying any intentions that you have set, especially if you guys are doing spells, that they did work. So that's a little thank you from your future self and a little confidence boost for you. And wouldn't it be interesting if, like, because your future self came and told you that it worked, then you became confident, and that confidence and that belief made it work. It's like a self-fulfilling cycle. Ooh. Okay, so your next card is Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So your future self is coming in now to tell you that you are 100% on the right path. I feel like you guys know a lot better what you're doing and where you're going than you give yourself credit for. Sometimes you may feel like, you're running around with no clue what you're doing. Sometimes you may feel like your life and your path is a mess and you're not doing anything right. And your future self is saying you're doing everything right. Even when you consciously don't know what to do, your intuition always leads you to the right place. And you're a lot more on the mark than you realize. Like, your inner guidance never fails you, basically, is what your future self wants to tell you. And it's funny because I feel like you'll have this realization in the future. All of those times before when you had no idea what you were doing and you were just winging it and you felt like it was a mess and you felt like you were like faking it until you made it, you felt like you were just doing whatever, all of those little seemingly random accidental steps made you stumble into your perfect future. So it's like, even when your mind and your 3D self had no idea what the heck was going on, your higher self was behind that wheel. So your future self has come to this realization, like, wow, I just needed to let go because my higher self was in control this whole time. So if you can start putting that into practice now, I think your future self will be very happy for that. You will get to the right place anyway, so you might as well get there calmly and peacefully and not worrying and enjoying the ride, enjoying the scenery. Just know that your higher self is very, very active in your life and is always making sure you end up in the right place. You will never be taken astray. Sometimes you may be taken on a scenic route. That's another story, but you will always be going to the exact right place. And so if your future self is coming through to tell you this, clearly they have seen proof of this in the situation that they ended up in. Like, I ended up stumbling right into my golden opportunity without even trying. I thought I was completely on the wrong path. So yeah, I know it's natural to question, what if I make a mistake? What if I choose the wrong path? What if I am on the wrong path? You're absolutely not. You're absolutely not. And I actually feel, for the first time filming this whole 2-hour, however long it is, video, I feel emotional saying that. So clearly I think there's a lot of stress that you guys hold on to. There's a lot of burden that you put on yourself to do the right thing and to be perfect. Yeah, I think you judge yourself a lot. And it kind of ties into thinking like, this trait within me is wrong. My way of expressing myself is wrong. The work I put out is wrong. The way I look is wrong. It's like, maybe you guys control too much. Like, it has to go this way, otherwise I'm doing something wrong. And that's not fair to yourself. You have to give yourself artistic liberties. You have to give yourself creative freedom when you're creating your life, and you have to allow for happy mistakes. So many wonderful things can come from, what seems like a random mistake. So just know that you'll get to where you're going no matter what. You're on the right path no matter what. So for the next cards, we have this dark energy and this light energy. This dark energy is going to represent what has been cleared away. So what dark energy your future self does not have to deal with anymore. And the light energy is, well, the light, positive energy that has replaced it. So for your dark energy, we have distrust, which it makes a lot of sense. I feel that you guys might be distrusting of yourselves and distrusting of your path, and even in the universe sometimes. And then the light energy that is replacing it is gratitude. And it says, I acknowledge, or I'm grateful for every experience that life brings me. So there was a similar message in another pile. I don't remember now, but the times on your journey where you feel doubt, where you don't trust that this is the right way, you feel like maybe you went wrong somewhere, or the universe is doing something sneaky, maybe feels like the universe is punishing you sometimes. In the end, you will be grateful for every single experience. The idea of relationships is coming up for this pile as well. You will reach a point in your spiritual growth and evolution where you can be grateful for every single relationship you've had, even the ones that felt toxic at the time, even the ones that ended badly, even if for a long time you carried a bitterness and resentment towards somebody. Once you come to this point where you love every single part about you, it's like you just naturally become grateful for all of those experiences that shaped you, and you recognize the lesson within every single relationship you had and the ways in which they pushed you to grow and pushed you to love yourself even more, even harder. So even the things you doubt, like, I don't know if this is supposed to be happening right now, you'll understand in the end. That was the message that was in the other pile. When you come to the end of this journey, you will see why you had to experience everything, why you had to go through everything. Also, we have repeating fives here. We had 6, 6 here, and we have 5, 5 if you add up 23. So you might see repeating fives or repeating sixes as confirmation that you're on the right path. But yeah, this is definitely that message of everything is happening for you, not to you. Everything is unfolding in your favor. And again, your future self is coming through to tell you this, which means that your future self has seen proof of this. Your future self has reached the place where they are grateful for every experience they have had, both good and bad, for every relationship they have had, both good and bad. And even this journey of going through insecurities and coming out on the other side, I see your future self is very grateful for that as well. And I feel like your future self inspires a lot of people. It will be on varying scales, of course, it's a general reading, but you will be inspiring people in your family, in your group of friends. You will be inspiring people in your community. Some of you guys will even have a platform, like a significant platform, and you can inspire many people through your journey and how strong you have become. And you can teach them as well to trust your path and to have gratitude for everything you go through. You're a huge inspiration to people in your life, people who know you, even people who don't know you personally. For some of you, you're like a shining light. You're a shining example that anything is possible. And you're people's reminder to love yourself and to be strong. Many of you guys who chose this pile, maybe you do feel like a light worker, or you feel like you are meant to share your gifts, share your knowledge, share your experiences. If you guys do feel that way, you feel this kind of spiritual mission or spiritual calling, I would definitely say that you guys chose the right pile. So let's look at your final oracle card now. And it's Ariel. New psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. Yeah, you guys are spiritually gifted, and this message actually matches really well with trust in the magic. Your guidance is divinely guided, learning to overcome distrust and be grateful for every experience. Yes, your new spiritual insights are changing your perspective on your whole experience, on your life, on the people you interact with. Your future self is living this life full of wonder, where there is a gift in every interaction. There is a blessing in every experience. There was always something to learn, and there was always some way for growth. You make the most of every single thing that comes into your experience, and you use it to build yourself up. And this is what's going to lead you to become so successful and so abundant. You guys are like the pile who made some delicious lemonade with the lemons that life threw at you. And I see especially this is going to propel you in your career. Like taking everything as a lesson, never giving up, always trusting your inner guidance. You guys are going to reach some huge heights in your career. I think I said a little bit earlier, I see a lot of people are going to want to emulate you. If you do have a platform, I feel like your inbox is going to be flooded with people asking you for advice and asking you how you did it. And they want to live a life like you. They want to inspire and help people like you. And of course, this can just be like in your community, in your circle. People are asking you about your story and how did you come to be so successful and so happy and so at peace and so abundant. People want to be like you. That's the message that I keep getting. Or like, it's not like people are copying, but like they want to live their own version of the happy and fulfilling life that you are living. So you're a huge inspiration to people. Where can I put this so that she doesn't have glare? Sorry about the weird lighting, guys. The sun is starting to set, so we're doing our best in here. But let's get into your tarot cards now to finish off the reading. We have the Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. Okay, wow. Yeah, I see wealth for you guys. I see that your financial situation is going to be dramatically improved in the future with this Ace of Pentacles. A new career opportunity is coming in for a lot of you, and your future self is telling you to go forward with confidence, accept any opportunities that you're offered with confidence. Know your worth if you're getting into any business deals, any contracts. You are so valuable. So make sure that you're getting a fair deal. Stand your ground. You guys, in order to become successful, you will never have to compromise. You can make your way to the top 100% only doing things that make you feel good, things that resonate with you, and things that make you feel empowered, because the Emperor is very confident and empowered and is in charge of his own life. So you don't have to, accommodate others or comply, I think is the word. Always make sure that you're getting a fair deal if you're working with somebody else. Whether you're self-employed or not, I feel that your future self does have a lot of executive power, I think is the word, in the work that they do. So maybe they're in a very high up position, or they get to make a lot of the decisions. They have a lot of power in choosing how their workday goes and in choosing what projects to work on. You can say yes to what you want to say yes to. You can say no to what you want to say no to. And with this Emperor, some of you guys may be actually building a business, because I was thinking of like building your empire with the Emperor. And then the Ace of Pentacles is like a new beginning in business, a new beginning that brings financial wealth. Some of you guys, if that resonates with you, you might be building your own business or building your own platform. Also, you will be financially independent, so you can take care of everything on your own. You can purchase anything that you want to purchase. You'll be living very, very comfortably. If any of you guys have a dream home, or like dream, let's say furniture that you've really wanted to get, or something that you've really wanted to put in your home, like a big purchase. I'm trying to think, maybe like a huge TV or a really expensive candle, a really expensive blender. Your future self is going to make that purchase. That's just a very specific message that came through. Any desires that you have with regards to your home and the objects in your home and your living space, you're getting it. You guys are getting your dream home if you have one. The Ace of Swords next to the Eight of Cups, it's giving me this feeling of simplifying your life, almost like a minimalism sort of energy. I guess because the Eight of Cups, it looks like, rather than somebody walking away from the cups, it looks like the squid is like, and like clearing everything out of his way, like just getting rid of stuff, just throwing stuff away. This is a card about getting rid of things that don't serve you anymore. And then I guess with the Ace of Swords being very straight and to the point, simple and clear cut, I think just looking at these two energies combined together, it seemed like, simplifying your life. And I think this can definitely be true in the physical sense, where maybe your future self is living in a more minimalistic way, only getting things that you need, and is maybe throwing away a lot of clutter. Your future self may be very well organized, living in a very clean space, cleansing the energy frequently, not letting clutter or any sort of mess build up, so that they can feel very focused and very at peace, and just not getting distracted and bogged down by all the clutter. So that could be a message from your future self, or advice from your future self. If any of you guys watching are in a messy room right now, your future self is telling you to clean your room, or throw away or donate those things that you swore you were going to use them and you never use them. Just clear them away. Clear your space, clear your mind, clear your energy. Your future self may also be advising you to energetically cleanse your space using sage or Palo Santo or full moon water, which I recently started using and I love it. Just setting water outside during the full moon, allowing it to absorb its energy, and then you can put it in a spray bottle and use it to cleanse your space. You can put it, like mix it in with cleaner and stuff like that. So So materially cleansing your space, energetically cleansing your space, and cleansing yourself as well. Like simplifying your life in the sense of what you entertain or what you pay attention to. So removing unnecessary drama from your life. I don't know if you guys have any acquaintances or you follow any pages, anything that is allowing this kind of petty stuff to enter into your experience or this kind of drama to enter into your experience, just things that you don't need, things that your brain is using its precious energy on, your future self is saying like, just clear that away. Anything that prevents you from being focused. This is about being focused. So maybe this is your future self asking you right now to remove distractions so that you can really focus on your goals. It seems like with these two together, it's like your future self is asking you to be very honest with yourself about what you need to let go of, like what habits you need to stop engaging in, what activities you need to stop engaging in, what beliefs and story you need to stop telling yourself or about the world or about life. Honestly, ask yourself, is this useful? Is this beneficial to me? When it comes to our beliefs about how the world works and what is possible and what is not possible, what is normal and what is not normal, every person's gonna have a different version. So rather than discerning based on like, is this true or is it not true? Your future self is asking you to discern based on, is this contributing to my growth? Is this making me a better person? Is this making me a happier person? Or does telling myself this story make me feel like crap or make me feel like not enough or make me feel like a failure? I feel like some of us are, I don't know if addicted is the right word, but we're so used to talking down to ourselves and like knocking ourselves down and saying honestly some pretty horrible things about ourselves. And so it's not about is this true or not, which it's not true, but does telling myself this story help me in any way? In what way is this helping me? All this is doing is bringing me down and making me feel worse. So this can also be about clearing your headspace and clearing your mind too. But yeah, put together, it's like we need to be focused. So we got to keep things simple and remove everything that is getting in the way. Even looking at this elephant is focused and will just trample anything that is in the way. So be focused, be perseverant, give things time to unfold. Your future self promises you will come to love everything about yourself, even the things that are making you feel insecure. And you will come to love everything about what you have lived through, even if now you feel some sort of sadness or bitterness about it. And finally, you will come to understand that you are always on the right path. Even if now you feel so clouded with doubt and being so sure and so clear on where you're going seems like impossible, you will get that clarity, you will get that certainty. You will develop that trusting relationship with your higher self, because I promise you, your higher self is always there with you. Always, no exceptions. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.